We are in the top split on this particular race. Welcome to week 7 of 12 in the Formula V iRacing series. We are at Charlotte Motor Speedway. We are running the long infield road course. This particular course has 13 turns per lap. And again, this is a 12-minute timed race. In previous races I was in, there were about 7 to 8 laps. Now, this particular race, we actually go to 9 laps. So that is an awful lot of turns. This course is rather slow, and, well, you got to be kind of patient to get through the corners, not to overdrive the car, because overdriving the car will definitely make you slower. So we are starting in 7th place. Given the fact that I was car number 4, I thought I would qualify, and my qualifying efforts weren't the best. I had a 1X off track on the second lap, so that lap didn't count. So here we are, basically starting mid-pack. Not the best spot to be. And at this point, I really don't realize that we are in the top split. If you don't know what top split means, I will kind of explain that throughout the race in a little bit. So we are getting ready to go green. And basically, I'm just thinking here, I need to make sure that we are good through the first 2 turns, because the first 2 turns are really the most difficult. And pay attention to everybody else and try to stay out of trouble. So I did not get a good start there. You saw the back wheels spun, and as a result, we kind of lose 1 position right out the gate. Now, this particular car that is in front of us, he's got a rather interesting paint scheme. He's a banana. So the front tip is basically the bottom of the banana. His exhaust is basically the stem, and then he's got a little banana sticker right there on his hood. It's pretty cool. So as we're continuing through the first lap here, really we're just trying to pay attention to the cars in front because we are all fairly close. But it looks like everyone is being fairly professional here and calm in the first lap, letting us all just kind of get our tires warmed up, feel everybody out, get a good sense for where people's brake points are on given turns and such. So let's go ahead and take a little bit of time and talk about what top split means. So iRacing, you are always running against real life players. So unlike other racing games where you are running against AI, like Project Cars or Formula 1, all of those series and so forth, iRacing, you are always running against live racers, real racers. And races are always at a specific schedule. So Formula V, for example, always has their races on the hour at the bottom of the hour. So 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, etc. And you might have, let's say, 120 people registered for a given race. Well, since the grid is locked at 12, that means that there are going to be 10 splits. So there's going to be 10 concurrent races going on, and the way they split it up is based on your I rating. They take the top 12 I rating, that's one split. The next set of 12, that's the next split, and so forth all the way down. Now, your car number, like I am car number 4 for this particular race, means that I have the 4th highest I rating in the field. It also is a kind of a general representation of where they think you should finish with respect to the finishing position based on your I rating. So I'm expected to finish 4th. So here we have Mr. Banana. A little bit of spin out here. So we got a position back. And let's go ahead and take a look at that again. You see he kind of cuts the corner a little sharp. He gets a little squirrely coming over the rumble strip there. He locks the brakes down and gets it all squared back up. Now, he qualified behind me. So hopefully, we're going to be able to race here. We're going to have to pay attention and see, how well he is racing us behind us. But we are kind of pretty much back up to our starting point of this position in the race. So yeah, top split means that basically we are racing with the top 12 drivers that were registered for this particular race. I do have to say, these guys in this particular grid were very, very fast. The first place, his best lap was 1 minute and 24. I think it was in the high 1 minute 24s, which is pretty impressive for this particular track. In fact, right here, lap 3, we are doing our personal best. So when we finish this lap, we're going to basically have our personal best, which is actually 1 minute 25.9 something. So high 1 minute 25s. And first place guy, he basically managed to finish the lap 1 second faster than us, which I have to say, I don't know really how he did it, but good props on that guy. So as we're coming up to the start-finish line, we know now after the race, this was my best lap and, quite frankly, my personal best. And the guy right behind me, he is still there. So we've got a pretty good indicator that this guy is faster than us. Hopefully he's patient and he can find a good spot to basically get around us and not force the issue. Now there's kind of two schools of thought coming through these two turns right here. Some people, I'm sure, are shifting up into fourth and then shifting back down to third. I just take the school of thought of just revving it out in third and just let it run that way. We basically don't shift up into fourth until we're getting ready to pull out onto the front stretch. And the rest of the lap is pretty much in third gear. Coming around here, we actually pick up another position. That was second place. So let's see what happened to him. So he came around the corner a little bit hot, got loose, and basically got her stopped. Spun around, and you're going to see us fly by here, right here. There we go. So we basically brake right here, downshift, and then we turn onto pit road. And then this corner up here, this is, I really don't like this corner. So we basically have to cut here blind right at the tire wall and then hope that we don't carry our momentum into the opposite side tire wall. Like I said, some people shift up to fourth here and then basically downshift into third, some point around this point. I like to just keep her in third the whole way around. See the lower right, Mr. Banana guy, he is pretty much pacing us here. He's kind of just poking his nose in, seeing where he might pass. So we lost position there. Now he opened it up, so I went ahead and took position back. But I really don't plan on fighting him because clearly he's faster than I am. So I just go on the outside, let him go ahead and get on around. I did want to fight him a little bit back there just to let him know I'm not just going to give it to you. I'm not going to lay over, but clearly he's faster, so we're just going to let him go. And remember the guy that spun? Well, he's right behind me now. And, well, a little ironic, I let him go, and then he goes and slams right into the tire wall. So let's see what happened. So he cuts the corner there and just has a little bit too much momentum, carries him out into the tire wall, clips his right rear tire, and takes him out. Luckily, we did have enough time to react. The guy behind us had enough time to react. Again, remember, he was second place. So he qualified ahead of us. He is clearly faster than us. So again, we're going to lose the spot probably to this guy, just hoping he's patient enough to not force the issue and cause an incident. at this point, I'm kind of feeling that I'm probably going to let him by on the next lap. Now, the car directly in front of us just came out of the pits. So he is a lapped car. And he just lost it, and holy crap, we got to slow down. Luckily, we avoided an incident there, but, well, second place, Mr. Buddy behind us, former second place, he locked it down, and, well, he's way back there now. So you can see what happened. So I get woed up, and then kind of work around him. Second place kind of spins out because I think he goes on the brakes a little bit more. And at this point, you know, he's back there a wee little bit. We got some breathing room behind us now at this point. And what you remember Mr. Second Place? Look at that right there. I don't know if you saw it. We're going to see a replay here in a moment. So here's Mr. Number 2. He was second place. It's a little impatient, dives into an area that really probably isn't the best spot to try to make a pass. And, well, gets into an incident. But he's not having the best race there. I think he's getting a little impatient. So we're coming up to the line to start lap 8, and I am really thinking, man, is this race over yet? Remember, it's a 12-minute race. We're running around 1 minute 25, 1 minute 26 seconds. We gotta be close, right? Yeah, I do not like that corner whatsoever. What we do through that corner is we let off the gas, and then the rear wants to slide out a little bit, and then we get back on the gravel, get back onto the throttle, and then the rear bites, and that helps us kind of get the car turned. And since we had to really lock it down there 2 laps back for that lapped car, we've pretty much lost contact with the immediate cars in front of us. And finally, we're coming up to the white flag lap. 9 laps on this particular race. Going through there extra gentle. I don't want to run into the tire barrier on the last lap. Overall, we've gotten through this particular race with 0 incident points. It's going to be a pretty good bump to my safety rating. Not really sure what it's going to do to my I rating, given the fact that we are car number 4. We're finishing 6th, so that's not all that bad. And again, this was the top split. And these guys were very, very fast. Like I said, I did a personal best, 125.9. Guy in first place had his best lap of the race, which was 124.9 something. So overall, we started 7th, finished 6th, had a very clean race, no incidences. Had a couple interesting moments happen right in front of us we were lucky enough to avoid. And, well, there we go. Checker flag, 9 laps in. Well, guys, that is Charlotte Motor Speedway. That is the Infield road course, the long variation. 13 turns, kind of a windy back half of the particular course. Really got to be patient going through those corners, just willing to let the car roll, give it a little bit of throttle just to keep the momentum up. But you don't want to be pushing too hard through those corners because you'll start sliding those tires, really scrubbing off speed at that point. So it's kind of a medium of how slow is fast enough versus pushing it a little bit faster, and in the end you end up actually being a little bit slower. So let me know in the comments, what did you think of the Formula V race here, of the Formula V series in iRacing? And until next week, happy racing.